Started, I'm going to just share this video and get right back to it. Give me a moment. Okay, did that. Now I think I'm good. Okay, so the topic is how to fight demons in dreams and use God's power. All right, so this is going to be based on scriptures that's biblical and spiritual and my experiences and maybe some other stuff. So this is also, well, how this came about, this topic and things like that, it was based on this interview that was going to take place on the 26th of December that just passed. But the interview didn't go through because I don't know if it was supernaturally postponed by demons, but it was an issue where we was trying to do it on Facebook Live and I couldn't join her live. And after like 23 or 26 minutes, she got irritated and gave up, the person who was going to interview me. So I was like, well, you know what? I'll just do it. So I'm gonna keep it in the same formula that we was gonna do it in. I'll go over a few of the questions that she was gonna ask or how the interview was gonna go, and I can add in more because I'm not being interviewed. So this is the interview that never happened, basically, along with more information. So you're really gonna get a lot of information about how to fight demons. Here it is. So my Hebrew name is Yehoiada. It's a Hebrew name, and it can mean who the Lord cared for or who the Most High cared for. And if you want to know why I chose it, you can leave a comment and I can do a video about that. All right, the next thing that was going to be discussed was how I became interested in dreams. So I'm 34 currently, and in the past, in my 20s, I don't know if it was late 20s, but in my 20s, I started having, well, let's just say my dreams at the time were becoming very, very important. And this was at a time when I was getting attacked by demons more and more. So I had this dream one day, and it was the probably one of the worst dreams I've ever had, or the worst at that time. It stood out to me the most, and I took it seriously. I took it serious. It was a dream that um it went along with my real life at the time. It it was about the end times, and it was basic. I'm gonna just say I'm gonna shorten it up. I'm not gonna tell the dream. I don't think right now, but maybe in the future, if you want to hear it, I can share the dream. But it was basically the righteous side, the angels, the good side, and the demons or evil spirits were on another side, and they were about to collide, and I was in the middle. I haven't chosen a side. I was just watching it about to happen, and I woke up. I'm not telling you the dream in detail, but in my real life at that time, I was neither hot nor cold. I was in the middle. I wasn't on the good side or the bad side. I was lukewarm, as the scriptures say. And at that point in my life, just to make sure you understand, I don't know if I said this, I haven't chosen a side. I was not on the Most High side. I was not on the devil's side. I was just in the middle. And I knew what I wanted to do. Overall, I did want to work for the Most High, which at some point in my life somebody told me I couldn't, but that was a lie. But that's just where I was. And I didn't know what this dream meant. I wrote the dream down and I started to try to analyze it and figure out what it meant. And I would just try to interpret this dream as time went on until I figured out everything I could about this dream. And it got to the point where I had almost everything um, interpreted about the dream except like one part. I could not figure out just one part. So one day I told my grandma the dream, and she helped me figure out the entire dream. She told me the final piece. And that's when I had learned how to interpret dreams. After that, I began interpreting my dream and other people's dreams. I just couldn't do the really difficult dreams like Joseph and Daniel, I think, did. Yeah, I couldn't do those. But you give me something, I can probably interpret it. But that's what got me into my dreams. After that dream about the end times, I just started interpreting dreams after that, and it was beneficial. So another question that was going to be asked, um, I'm gonna just tell you the answer to this question because she was going to basically ask me, "What have you learned from the Bible about dreams?" And it's a lot of stuff that I could say about that, but what the Bible or the Holy Scriptures have taught me about dreams, I mean, it's taught me which dreams to listen to take to heart, and which dreams to not listen to and take to heart. Because in these scriptures I'm about to present to you, it's going to share that not all dreams come from the Most High. At least that's how it appears, in my opinion, from the scriptures that I'm going to read. So when I had read that, I was like, I was relieved in a way because most of my dreams, some of them are crazy. Some of them involve family members and just crazy stuff that just don't make sense. So I was glad that these scriptures, well, I'm glad they exist. So I'm gonna get ready to read these scriptures and we can go further. So let me get these scriptures ready. So these script, I mean, hold on, let me say this too. It's a lot about dreams that I'm not gonna get today because it's a very, very huge portion of the scriptures about dreams. It really is. Can't cover it all today. Not even gonna do that. But here's one part, and this comes from the Apocrypha. This is a section of the Bible that was removed and rejected by certain people. So the Apocrypha was originally along with the Bible at first, but it was removed by certain people. And in the Apocrypha, this is what it says in the book called Ecclesiasticus or Sirach or Ben Sira. Now, it's in chapter 34. You can read verses 1 through 7, but specifically the ones that I want to get is just 5 through 7. So, in this translation of it, it says, dreams and divination and omens are all nonsense. You see in them only what you want to see. Unless the Most High has sent you the dream, pay no attention to it. Dreams have misled many people. They put their faith in them only to be, let me scroll down, only to be disappointed. Okay, so that's how that one worded it. So I put a note, this is on my website, I put a note at the bottom of this image because I have the whole 7 verses in this image, and at the bottom of it, I have a note. And I highlighted one of the most important verses, verse 6. So the note at the bottom says, if our dreams are not from God, we should not pay them any attention. And I'm going to just read the main verse one more time. So it says, and I'm going to read 5 again too. If 5 says, dreams, divination, and omens are all nonsense. You see in them only what you want to see. Unless the Most High has sent you the dream, pay no attention to it. Okay. So based on this, I understood it like this. If I receive dreams that are not from the Most High, I don't gotta worry about them. Sometimes it's good to still interpret ones where you're fighting demons, because those can be beneficial for you. But if you know for a fact, if you have, thought about the dream, and if you discover the dream is not from the Most High, according to this, you only gotta pay it any attention. It's not important. So I don't worry about a lot of dreams based on these scriptures right here. And this is from the Apocrypha, the book Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach, aka Ben Sira. And Ben Sira is in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Excuse me. These are very, very good scriptures right here. Now, my website is called ultimatescriptures.weebly.com. I know I said that very fast. I'm not expecting you to remember it, but I'm just saying that I do have a website, and I can link it in the description so you can see this exact same image. And this image is called Dreams Study Sirach 34, 1 through 7. I have the entire 1 through 7, well, all those verses in here, and I highlighted the main verse, verse 6. I have the note at the bottom. It's a lot of scriptures and biblical stuff on this website. So that's the scriptures. Well, those are the scriptures I was talking about. And remember that, right? So I'm about to share something that I only put on my YouTube channel one time. So it's a demon. Now, this was not going to be in the interview, but this I can talk about now because I'm not being interviewed. So here's some additional stuff. Now, if you look online, it just period anywhere. I don't care where you go, but if you look online, you research this, research the Sandman, and research his powers. This is a demon. When you look at it, he has another name. They call him Klaus Valk. I think it's Klaasvaak. And if you look at this character's powers, that's not a human. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the scripture just said, well, it indicated to me that other spirits can send us dreams. If the Most High is not the only one visiting us in dreams or sending us dreams, what else is? It's only a good side and a bad side. It's only good spirits and bad spirits. If the good isn't sending us dreams, it's possible the bad spirits are, and that's how I take it. So if the bad spirits are sending us dreams and sending us nightmares and things like that, well, I got something right here that goes along with that. So this demon is in songs. It's in a song. It's a popular song. It blew up. I think it's called Mr. Sandman, actually. I'm gonna try to get the lyrics. Some of you heard this song before. These people, whoever made, I don't know why this person made the song completely. I was trying to find out why he did that, but here's some of the lyrics to this song that came out probably before I was born. Yeah, this was recorded by the Chordettes or Chordettes. It has an H in there, but it's probably pronounced Chordettes without the H. But the album was called Closed Harmony, released 1954, and it was written by a man, I believe, but he had women, a group of women singers to sing it, and a group of guys. I think it was 3 different groups that sung it, but only 2 of them did pretty well. So, you know. So anyway, here's some of the lyrics, right? Okay. They say, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him 2 lips like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. And I covered this in another video about what the magic beam is. That's basically a wand, something that witches use, or if you ever seen Harry Potter, they use the wand to use powers and provoke, well, do spells. And this isn't, it's not used in a good way. So then it goes on to say some other stuff. But basically, they're asking a demon to send them a dream. They want a wish, they want desires from a demon. Okay. And you can find out that that's a demon because some of the information about this guy is not what humans do. This, if you just research the Sandman, research Klaus Valk or Vac, and there's even a series they did on this dude. He has a TV show, and you can see just from the show the powers he has. That's not a human. But move on from that. Now the other thing that I was going to be asked was, share all about how demons can attack in dreams and transform, pretend to be our loved ones, try to have sex with you or us, hold us down, appear as animals. Tell them basically how they attacked me, myself personally, and how they appeared. Okay. And this is a lot to say. So a lot of us have information about demons attacking in dreams. So I don't really have to tell you everything, but I'm gonna just tell you some stuff that you already know and some extra stuff. So we have demons that can hold you down. They can cause you to lose power in your limbs. They can, let's see, they can transform into other humans. They can transform. I mean that too. I mean shapeshift stuff you've seen on TV and movies. They can appear as dark figures with certain shapes, human shapes or circular shapes. They can appear in reality too, but I'm sticking to mostly dreams, not reality so much right now. But they can also appear as your loved ones in dreams because when you get good at fighting them in dreams and reality, they will start to use other ways to combat you because you've gotten so good at fighting them. And they will use more demons to fight you because you can handle one or two or four. So they'll use a stronger demon. And they'll just try to get you however they can get you. So they can sound like your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your cousin, your son, your daughter. They can imitate people and even look like them. So let's see, what else can they do? They can even they'll even try to have sex with you. Um, that's what they do. They can actually physically like do something to you in a dream, and you wake up and like feel a scratch or excuse me, like you have a scar on you or something. It might be minor, but what else? Of course, they can have have nightmares, but um, I'm trying to think of every way they can get to you in dreams before I move on to the next topic. Because the next topic is how do we fight them, and I don't want to go there yet. I'm just trying to make sure I have everything first. Let me make sure. Yeah, I can hold you down. Oh, they can appear as animals. Also, they can appear as tigers. I mean, not tigers, lions. Lions. They can appear as big brute guys, like big brute men, like Nephilim type people. I mean, like tall, big, strong. They can appear as humans too. I said that before, but they can appear as attractive women or attractive men to a woman. And I have had that happen to me, and they will try to get intimate with you before they attack you. I've had that happen too. And they have those teeth, like all sharp teeth, like animals. And that's not normal for humans. They have, I mean, like when you look at movies and you ever seen a demon open its mouth and they have all sharp teeth, that's what they look like. And they mouths can stretch far back. It's not normal. Like I mean, so far back, it's not human like. And what else? Um, I don't know if I can remember anything else. Well, that's just a few things they can do. Um, Now, some of their powers, they can fly. I mean, they have a lot of power. I don't even know all their powers, but they can read your mind. They know, they know a lot of things about you. And if you say something in your heart, they'll use it against you. Because I remember saying, because I had got so good at fighting them at one point in my dreams that, matter of fact, I'll go on. I'm gonna talk about that, but I just want to say this real quick. I got so good at fighting in my dreams that I knew it was gonna take something different for them to get me or to combat me because I got so good at fighting them, and I knew that they was gonna have to use my mom against me. I don't think I said it out loud, but that night or like not long after that, I had a dream and they used my mom against me in the dream. It sounded just like my mom, but it was not my mom. And I knew it wasn't my mom. And everything about this dream was an evil, demonic dream. It was like nothing of the Most High. I mean, He might have allowed it, but it wasn't. It was nothing like that in this dream. No indication of it at all. I knew it was an evil spirit. It was eerie. It was all of that. So Now, let me walk you through my experiences here. I already gave some scriptures, but let me walk you through my experiences here. So, how did I get here? So, this is also about how to fight demons along the way and how to use the Most High's powers. All of this is about to take place in what I'm going to say. But how I got here was a long time ago, I was trying to find out how to fight demons because I was being attacked by them a lot. And I needed to know how to protect myself. So I was looking into anything that would help. So I came across a video online, and the video, it was a woman, she shared how to cast them out by simply saying, I cast all evil out in Jesus' name, or if you're comfortable using another name for the Son of God, just say that, and then they gotta go. If you say it with force and believe and don't doubt. And I started with that. But around this time, I found out other information. Like a little bit before this, I found something out very beneficial. It was after a breakup, and I was depressed. And I came across this video. It was by this guy named Greg Braden. Thank the Most High for this guy. I do. Because he taught something that's in the Bible. But at the time, I wasn't reading the Bible. I was on the way. I was trying to get there. But he said some stuff that is in the Bible. It's about how to pray. And this is one of the most powerful prayers I've ever done. And it still is. So through this formula, this is how I also used it to fight demons. So he teaches a prayer basically like this: to merge your thoughts and beliefs and make them one. And then you can say to the mountain, move, and it will move away. So basically, it's the same rules the Bible tells you to go by, where you have faith and don't doubt. And then, the miracle can be performed. So the scriptures also say, when you pray, don't doubt. You got to believe it without doubting, or else it won't happen. It's the same thing that this dude was saying, but he was claiming that they took some information out of the Bible. They edited the text tremendously, and he was restoring the missing pieces, but it was still in the Bible. I just didn't know it at the time because I didn't read the whole Bible at the time, but it's still in there. So this formula is how you can use the Most High's powers in dreams. Like, well, basically the last few things I said, casting them out, and the formula of the prayer. Now we're going to get into how to fight them and the things that I've experienced. So let me start here. I want to give you how to control your dreams, because this is how you fight them. This is going to be one way. This is going to help. So along this path of learning to fight them, I created a virtual or digital self. It's not a digital self, but it's like I created an avatar for myself in the dream world. For when I'm asleep, when I'm in visions, that world, I created what I'm going to look like. I just focused. I just thought about what I'm wearing, whether it's a hat, no hat, black hat, green shirt, whatever. I designed it in my mind. I had on red and black Air Forces. Maybe it was just mainly black and red, or all black. And whatever I designed, I got it all set, and that's what I was wearing in my visions and things like that. So every time I was just thinking in my mind, that's what I looked like. Now, what I did was I practiced just thinking about fighting all my favorite characters from video games and just like horror movies and stuff. For instance, Raiden from Mortal Kombat, they call him a Thunder God. Now, some of you might not know who that is, but that's not important. Here's some of his powers. He's even in movies, but here's some of his powers. He can teleport, shoot electricity, he can control electricity. That's basically what he does. And what we can do is mimic their powers in our dreams through the powers of the Most High. And I'll get to that soon. So I fought him in my mind. And the good thing about this is you cannot die. You're basically eternal in your thoughts. You can kill yourself over and over and over, but you will never really die. You can even allow somebody else to kill you, but you always come back. So that's the good thing. So I was just practicing fighting him, and then I also tried to fight a version of the devil, like a red dragon, but I could not kill the dragon. Um, what I saw was it was just this huge hand just coming from the sky down slow like this, and me and the dragon was on each side, and it just barely touched me, and I just fell out. And it to me it was like the Most High was showing me, nah, you can't destroy the dragon. That's my job. So um, didn't get to do that. So in the dreams though, I had learned to, as soon as I could, control my dreams, and I did. And I did it for certain purposes. But also, I had learned by that prayer I was telling you all about to create force fields and spiritual weapons. And this goes along with dreams. So I'm going to share this part and then I'll get back to that. So, through the prayer, like everything works the same, it's the same formula. One of my favorite weapons, as in guns, was a M4. And I didn't change anything about the M4. Only thing I changed was the bullets. So I changed the bullets into bullets of light. Now what I did was I had to select what color light, green, blue, light blue, zebra stripe, orange, whatever. And once I selected that, I had to have faith and not doubt that it was selected and it was finished. Um, and once I did that, it was done. It will always be like that. So then I had a M4, but it shot out bullets of light. And once I did this, I can always access this gun in my dreams against evil spirits if I wanted to, and I did. But you can also make force fields. You can cover your whole room. You can cover your whole house or apartment. You can, the same formula applies. You can just think about what shape you want it to be. You want it to be a circle. You want it to be a rectangle, a square, star shape. You are the creator. All you have to do is the same formula to create it and finalize it. Once you select the shape, let's say you want to do a square. If you wanted to just cover your room, you make that decision. And then you have faith and don't doubt that it is, um, finished and like gonna cover your room or your whole apartment or house. And then you do the same thing with the color of it. What color do you want it to be? Do you want it to be blue? Do you want it to be green? Whatever color you want to set, you have faith and you don't doubt, and it's set. And if you want it to be made out of ice, electricity, water, or acid, fire, whatever you want it to be made out of, you can select it. Same thing applies. Have faith and don't doubt. Then once you did that, you decide how long you want to keep evil spirits out of this force field. I will always do 24 hours. I will always do something reasonable. I wouldn't tell you to do something unreasonable because they always have to come and try you. That's their job. So I would ask, just do something reasonable, maybe no longer than a week. But okay, so then this formula of making weapons can carry on in your dreams. So going to the dream part, in the beginning, I would start to control my dreams and just do stuff, fly around. I had to learn to fly in a few dreams. I had to learn to land. Had some trouble landing. And once you start to do this, you could try to fly into heaven. You could try to fly into hell. You can fly around the world. You can do some stuff. And you can also, this is where a lot of the powers that I used came from, the things I've seen. If you ever seen a movie or cartoon or something where you've seen some sort of power being used, whether it's from Dragon Ball Z, X-Men, or a movie, one of your favorite characters from a video game, like for me, Raiden. What I did was, after some time, I mimicked his teleportation technique. I actually started to teleport. And this came in handy because evil spirits would attack me. And something they would do, they would shoot energy balls at me, and I would teleport and move out of the way. And sometimes I would also jump into portals, portals, to make sure I'm saying that right. And I know a portal by the location and what's happened previously. Example, it was this one case where I think I was being attacked by demons, or I was in an area where a demon was, and I jumped into this concrete. It was like a sidewalk looking concrete, but it changes. It looks like grass for a little bit, and then if you wait a while, it'll change into like concrete. It'll look like a sidewalk. It sounds crazy, but I was familiar with that from before, and I jumped into it like a cannonball. And it sounds crazy because it's concrete, but when you jump on it, you fall into it. And then when you fall into it, you go into another area. It's a portal to take you somewhere else. And I knew that from a previous dream. So it's certain things that you just find out, you learn in your dreams. But everything you find out, the demons can do a lot of the things you can do. For instance, they can fly, they can shoot energy balls. I don't know, I don't know if they can teleport, but I don't think they need to because they're fast. And they can outnumber you. It's going to be times you're going to get outnumbered. I remember dreams where it was so many of them. I couldn't beat them all, I'll tell you. But yeah, you just got to survive them sometimes because you can't beat them all. I mean, that sometimes it's gonna be out, they're gonna outnumber you, or they just might be too tough for you. So all you can do is survive for that time being. But I call all these powers though the Most High's powers. If you learn to teleport or fly or do anything using some sort of power in your dreams, to me it's the Most High's power. Somebody else might call it something else, but that's what I call it because I know where the power comes from. So let me get to that. So early in my walk with the Most High, um, this was around the time I started taking the Bible serious. It was about 5 or 6 years ago. I had almost died, and I asked for some dreams. And one of the dreams I asked for was to fly around in heaven. So I was allowed to just hover around in the sky. And I remember looking down at the streets and the trees and the street lights and the people and the cars. And I remember everything froze. And everything froze for so long that I didn't know when it was going to unfreeze. And after a while, everything went back to normal. Everybody started driving and walking again. And to me, nobody knew any of this happened except me. Excuse me. So when I woke up, I knew it was the Most High showing me his power. And it actually is a scripture where something like this happened too. It's in the lost books of the Bible. It's in one of those books where the Most High froze time. Now, this may have happened in real life too. I just haven't done a video on it, but it's some cases possibly in real life where things have just been frozen in time, and it's been caught on camera if this is real. But that's another one. I'm not going to talk about that here. So then later on in some of my dreams or another dream, the Son of God visited me, and he showed me some powers as well. At the time, I couldn't do it though. He just showed me some of the powers that can be used. He showed me how to freeze things, like in thin air, or it was something like that he showed me. And later on in dreams, I learned to do it. So they can actually teach you powers to use in dreams. And I just developed a lot of powers. So just over time, I would slowly get stronger and just practice different things and learn different skills and powers and dreams. You can move huge, heavy objects like cars, trucks, tanks, trees. I mean, big, big trees. You can just lift them straight out of the root of the ground and just throw them as high as you can in the sky. And you can do multiple trees at a time. And all of this can be done without you ever touching it, with just you thinking it and having faith and not doubting that it's going to happen, and it'll happen. So example, it will start off small. I remember one day I was at a park in a dream, and I remember just seeing these trees, thick trees, not the thickest, but thick, like maybe like about that thick, and they were tall. And I was curious, could I lift one out of the ground without touching it? So, or just lift it out of the ground, just throw it up in the sky. So I had thought about it, and I just thought that the tree would just lift up out of the ground and just go in the sky. And I didn't doubt that it would happen. So sometime after I thought about it, it actually happened. It lifted up out of the ground and just went in the sky. And I never saw it again. After that, though, I passed out because that was the first time I lifted up anything that heavy. And in dreams, when you do something like that for the first time, you might pass out because you're not used to it. It's kind of like when you exercise for that first time in a long time and your body be hurting like that. You normally are very tired the first day you do it or something like that. It was kind of like that, but much worse. Um, but as time went on, when I was around trees again and I did it again, I was able to lift more than one tree without passing out. And then as time went on, I was able to lift 5 trees at one time and wouldn't pass out. And then time went on where I was able to lift up heavier objects like cars, and I was able to lift up cars, and sometimes I would just point my arm or hand in the direction of whatever I wanted to lift and just use my mind and the same formula of the prayer and lift it up and move it. And you can do the same thing with other objects. With if you want to bring a glass to you, or let's say a glass is on a table and it's far away, you can just point to it and just use the same formula. Think about it coming to you and don't doubt, and it'll come to you. And I've also lifted a whole house and other things, but these are just some of the powers that I was able to use. You can even go through walls. I was even able to go through some walls, and it's just a lot of powers that you can use in dreams. And you can actually have fun with some of these powers. I actually have had some fun with these powers. Just changing the colors of things. Just anything I think in my mind, I can create. If I want to, for example, make somebody else fly or fly away with somebody, I can. It's not always about me. Now let's get into the fighting demons part, though. So you know about the Most High's powers and how to do it. So this is how it can come in handy. So let's say you're dreaming, and because before this I was getting my butt kicked. When a demon showed up in my dream, all I could do was get my butt kicked, pray really hard to get the demon to leave me, or to, from the Most High to rescue me. That's it. I didn't know how to cast them out. I didn't know how to fight them, how to use the Most High's powers. But when I learned these things, it started to change. I used to run from demons in the past when they came to fight me, or when they came. I used to be afraid, a lot more afraid. But after I started learning these things, how to cast them out, oh, it changed. You can cast them out in reality and dreams the same way by saying, I cast all evil out in the Son of God's name, and they gotta go. Especially if you say it with force and don't doubt, they gotta go. So what I'll also tell you is they will come back depending on what you do after that. Let's say you cast them out, but you end up sinning after that, like 15 minutes later. If you sin in 15 minutes, they can come back as quick as 15 minutes. So if you cast them out, don't sin. You gotta do good, and they'll stay away longer. So, excuse me. So back to the dreams though. When I was dreaming, I remember I was in like a bathtub or a tub, and I remember this demon was bothering me. And I remember just saying it. I cast all evil out in the Son of God's name. For whatever name I was using at the time, it could have been a different Hebrew name, and they would leave. And I remember I got so good at this, I started casting demons out of people in my dreams because they were possessed too. It was two little boys, I think, that was possessed, and they was possessed by powerful demons. And I casted either one out or both of them out, and yeah, it was just a trip. And it was another dream where I had, and I was somewhere, I don't know where I was, but it was this demon. I knew it was a demon because I can't remember the whole thing. I wrote some of these dreams down. I write the important ones down. I should have got them out. They over there somewhere. I might have to get some, but I remember we were somewhere and I knew it was a demon. I just knew something was going to happen, and it did. And this demon started to attack me, and he was kind of like a far distance away, maybe like 10 or 12 feet. And he started to like shoot some energy balls at me. And I'm used to energy balls because of this cartoon called Dragon Ball Z. They even use it on Naruto, the cartoon. But I was never into Naruto. And I have learned to mimic energy blasts or balls based on Dragon Ball Z so I can create the same thing. Now he shot one at me. And so we was basically shooting energy balls back at each other, but it was kind of like a gunfight. And I think I won that fight. Um, or did I teleport out of the building? I think I either left or I won the fight. Can't even remember. I think I teleported out of there. And I remember it was this dream about these witches I had. I was in a school of witches. It was all women. They had on all the same uniforms. I don't know if I knew how to fight demons this good at the time, but I avoided that because I sensed they were witches and it was not gonna go well. I was at this like football stadium in France, and this was before Ruffles came out with all the different flavors of Ruffles that they came out with lately. At the time, they only had three different flavors, but in this dream, they had like fish flavor and different flavors I'd never seen. And then later on, they came out with some of these different flavors. But I was like going up these steps with these ladies. They all had on the same uniforms. I could tell they was witches. And when I got in this room with them, the door closed behind me. And I was like, oh man. So it ended up going bad. How did I get out of there? Hmm, I forgot. I think that I might have flew. I can't remember, but I got out of that somehow because that wasn't good. I don't know. I can't remember that one too good, but I know I got out of that one. It was some crazy dreams I was in, but these powers helped me out. I remember some dreams I used my M4 with the bullets of light to shoot at demons or to shoot at something. Um, and I would just on the spot create weapons from the Most High's powers, to fight them. And I remember that's how I was supposed to start out with y'all. I forgot the beginning talking about so much other stuff. But um, demons would appear as, in my beginning, they would appear as dogs. That was the beginning. They would appear as big dogs, never small dogs, always the big, full grown dogs. Um, so I remember walking in my grandma's neighborhood, and all of a sudden this big dog would come. It would be just one, and this dog would come and attack me. And the only way to defeat the dog at this time, because I didn't know all of these different powers I'm telling you about at the time, so I had to physically defeat the demon. And the dog would, let's say that his mouth was right in front of me, and I would take one of my hands and put at the bottom part of his mouth where his teeth was, and I would take the other hand and put it at the top part of his mouth where his teeth is, and just stretch his mouth apart until I break his jaws, and then they would lay down flat, basically be dead, and then that would be the end. And that's how I had to defeat them for a while. And when I got good at that, this was my beginning at fighting demons in dreams too. Um, they would send two dogs to fight me. So they would attack me one by one. One would jump on me, and I would have to pull his jaws apart. Then, as soon as I'm done with him, the next one would come, and I gotta pull his jaws apart. And then after a while, I got good at that. So then they sent four to fight me. They'd attack me one by one. Okay, so I had to do that. Then, um, when I got used to that, they sent, was it a woman or a big brute? I think it was the big brute first, and then the woman. I can't remember the order, but I know they sent humans after me this time. No, it was wolves. I'm sorry, I forgot about the wolves. Okay, so they sent wolves, a little bit stronger. They sent two of them, and I remember I was at my grandma's house, and my family was out in the yard. Some of them, like my little niece, my little 2-year-old niece, and my mom, and my grandma was out there, I think. And they was in the front yard, and these two wolves was in the backyard. I was at the back door, and I seen them running around to the front where they was. So I had to go out front and fight the wolves. So I went out front, and my family went in the house. And one of the wolves came and jumped on me, and I had to fight him. Now, wolves are stronger than dogs, sharper teeth too. So this was different. This was different. I struggled to fight the first wolf. I mean, I was like, it took so much energy out of me. I can feel it in real life while I was asleep. You know, you can feel stuff when you sleep. Yeah, I felt it. I felt like I was trying to stretch his mouth apart, his jaws apart, and his teeth were so sharp it pierced through my flesh in my palm, and I felt it in real life. And I remember just struggling to pull his jaws apart, and I was struggling with so much effort. I can feel it. I can feel it. And when I finally stretched his jaws apart and broke it, I was relieved. But here come the other wolf, and I had to fight him too. And then when I killed him, I woke up. But when I woke up, I looked at my palm because I'm like, man, his teeth went through my hand, but it didn't in reality. So that was good. But when it did, I felt it. You know, it was a trip. I think I felt it. Um, but then after I got used to that, or when I survived that, they started sending different things at me. They sent this big brute one night. I call a Nephilim, basically. It was this dude. His face was weird. His face was not like ours completely. It was like a cartoon character. He had a big nose. He kind of like the Inspector Gadget, except with a fat face and a big brute body. I mean, like just super big. And he had on a trench coat and a hat. And he was dropped off by these women. It was a car full of women and him. And they came to my grandma's house. They dropped them off, and he came to the door. And when I went to open the door, or to the door, he just kind of like butted his way in, like, and he didn't say a word. I just had to fight him, and I couldn't beat him because he was so strong. I never fought anything that strong, so I didn't know how to beat him. All I could do was survive him. So then next, I think I fought this demon. It was a woman. It was an attractive female. And in my current life at the time, I had just almost died. And yeah, this was around the time I started getting serious with the Bible. Um, but I had went to no wait, the same day that I had to get my medicine from like CVS, yeah, because I just got out the hospital. So I went to get my medicine, and at the CVS pharmacy, the lady who I was getting the prescription from was flirting with me, and I'm like, I don't know why, but I'm just trying to get my medicine. I'm not trying to flirt. Um, and then when we went to go get something to eat that same day, the lady who I was sent in to go pay for it, when I went in to pay for it, the lady who was the cashier was flirting with me too. I'm like, I'm not trying to flirt. I just want to get the food. So then when I got home, this was around New Year's, so-called New Year's, like around this time. And it was like December 31st. We was gonna bring in the New Year's at 9 o'clock at a church. My brother gave me an invitation to his church or church. So yeah, his church. So we went. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Let's go. Better than other stuff. So we went, and 10 minutes before I was supposed to go, I was dreaming I was being attacked by a demon. This was the demon. It went along my real life because these ladies at the time was trying to talk to me, and in the dream it was an attractive female. She was at my grandma's house, and we was in my grandma's room, and we was getting close, and we was like finna kiss or something. Somewhere around that time, the demon stretched open her mouth so wide, and her teeth were so sharp. Every teeth was sharp, and she just bit down on the palm of my hand, like on the inside of it, like right in here, and it hurt so bad. I was First I was focusing on the pain. I couldn't do anything but focus on the pain. And then after a while, I had to try to get her teeth out of my palm, but it hurt real bad. But once I got her mouth off my hand, her teeth out, I had to break her jaws the same way I did with the dogs and the wolves. So after I did that, when I broke her jaws, her head came off, and it was no blood, but it looked just like a doll baby head when you take the head off. It's that little circular ball. It looked like that, and I was like, I was just looking, yeah. And then when I woke up, I thought about that. I'm like, it was no blood, no, it was weird. And then so later on, they started using different creatures to fight me in dreams. They started using lions. Um, what else? It started getting a little different after that. But at this point, I had started reading the Bible. I started taking my walk with the Most High seriously. So I had learned a bit more, and I'm trying to think on exactly which dreams to go through, because it was times though where I couldn't like fight physically. I had to just sit there and suffer. And I remember one dream where I was being held down. This was at a time where I was into my walk with the Most High, and I learned a Hebrew name to call the Most High, or ancient Hebrew, as they say, and I knew the name Ahaya, and his son was Yeshaya, yeah. And at this time, I remember I had this dream, and it was a demon who held me down, like by my wrist, had me down like that, and I couldn't move these arms. And I was on the bed, and it was some circular small. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. I'm going too fast. So I was trying to get free, but I couldn't. So I called on the name of Hayah, right? And I remember calling out maybe once or twice, and all of a sudden, I might say it in the wrong order, but I know this little circular ball started floating down from the sky, if I'm not mistaken, from the roof, and it was getting closer to me, and I was looking at it, and it got closer to where my heart was. And as it got closer to where my heart was, the demon let me go. And then it like went through my heart or in my heart. And then everything started to shake. It was like an earthquake. And I woke up. Wait, no, before I woke up, I think I apologized. I apologized to the Most High. Like, okay, I'm sorry. He made me feel like I shouldn't have called. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I should have called you or something like that. I can't remember, but it was scary. And I think from that dream, I was like, okay, you might not want to call on the Most High. But I don't know, but it was something about that one. But the name Ahaya didn't always work. It was some dreams where I called out and I got no answer. So it was something about that name for me. But the name I use now, I think it will always work. It's a much better one. But calling out for help will work. It might scare you, but it'll work. You gotta call out. Now, in previous dreams, when I didn't know a name for the Most High, I would just pray and get help. I wouldn't have to use a name. But I would have to pray really hard to get these demons off me. Because I've been held down before, um, at least I believe. And I remember one time, no. I think I wasn't held down. I think what happened was I couldn't talk in one of my dreams. I couldn't call out. And I think it was like I was stuck, um, which might be the same thing. So it was basically like I was attacked. I couldn't yell. I couldn't, like, I had no voice. I had no audio. And I was trying to get help. And then there was another one where I was near the refrigerator and my legs just gave out. I mean, I could not get feeling in my legs and I was just crawling to the refrigerator. And I had to pray really, really hard. And then the feeling in my legs came back. Um, Now here's a dream that goes along with how they can try to have sex with you. So one day I was dreaming. I dreamed a dream. And at first, the lady I was with, she was, I think she was a darker skinned woman at first. Like maybe milk chocolate complexion, like Snickers complexion, or my complexion, maybe a little bit darker. But then as time went on, we was getting sexual, but we wasn't having sex, but we was getting, sexual. Then all of a sudden I remember laying down on my back and she was like in front of me. And then all of a sudden I remember her just shape shifting. She just transformed into a light skinned woman. But in the dream I didn't think anything of it because I'm dreaming. But when I woke up, I thought about it, I'm like, that was a demon. Ain't no human can do that. Nobody can just shapeshift and transform into another person. A whole nother complexion. Like, nah. So I thought about that. And as time went on, I had other dreams where I had a lot of dreams about demons. I had one dream where after I learned to fly, I got skilled. So this was way later on. I had got skilled at fighting them, right? I remember it was this demon. I don't remember the beginning of this dream, but I remember somewhere along the way we was fighting. I think I saw him and I didn't want to fight him. So I flew away. But he flew too. He was chasing me and he was fast. I couldn't outrun him. So, well, I'll fly him. So what I ended up doing was I stopped somewhere at the top of this building or close to the top of this building and we was just fighting up there. Bad news for me is I wasn't ready for this fight. He was whooping my butt somewhat. So what I did was I had flew away again. And then I had like flew through some buildings and I didn't get away from him, but I had figured out how to fight him the second time around, so I had to fight him again. So when I fought him again, after fighting him the first time, I learned how to fight him and I was able to beat him the second time. And we was fighting in the air. It was kind of like The Matrix or The Matrix 3, I think, or like a cartoon where they fight in the sky. Well, birds do that too. They fight in the sky, but it was like that. And so I figured out how to beat him, and I beat him. Um, and I remember one case where I was in the backyard of my grandma's house. A lot of these things took place at my grandma's house because I was living there for so long. And I remember it was this, was it a wolf? I think it was a wolf. Yeah, it was a wolf. And that was a demon, but it was just looking like a wolf. And it had my dog. I had my dog at the time. Yeah, at this time I had my old dog, the Yachts, and the Yachts. He had, I think, went through the fence somehow, and he's a big dog. If you ever see my dog, there's no way he can go through the fence. Like he went through those little small little holes of the fence. Like no way, no way. Somehow he fit through that. I don't know how. In a dream, I guess stuff like that is possible, but Then this wolf came over from my neighbor's yard into my yard, and he was trying to get me. And I had climbed on top of my grandma's fence, and I was standing on top of a part of it, and the wolf couldn't get me from where I was. And so what I did was I had shot an energy ball at it, but it had moved so slow towards this wolf. I thought the wolf was gonna move, but it still hit him. And when it hit him, um, I didn't think it was gonna knock him out. So what I did was I had it was a big thick stick or a tree branch that had fell or was somewhere, and I had just like moved my hand towards it to make it move over and hit him, just in case, because I didn't think that energy ball was gonna hit him because it was moving so slow, but it still did. And right after it hit him, I had grabbed that stick with the powers of the Most High and just like made it move. I just did like that and just made him move over to where he was, and it just flew over to him and hit him along with that blast, and he was out. And that's how I dealt with that demon. I ain't had to touch him. It was one of the easiest fights. um, Sometimes the fights ain't so easy. Sometimes you get outnumbered. Sometimes you get chased by so many you can't fight them all. I remember this one time I had fought, let's see, it was so many of them. I was in my grandma's backyard again, and all of a sudden it was like so many of these demons came, and I think they can fly. Yeah, they can fly. It was so many, I don't know how many it was, but I had to fly up in the air and try to fight a few of them. I don't know how many I was able to fight, but it was just so many of them. I couldn't fight them all, so I didn't win that fight. Um, and then there was another dream where I ain't tell y'all the whole dream. That past one I just said like the basic part of me fighting them, but then I had this other dream where I was led to this place with my old childhood friend, and he took me somewhere. And where he took me, it was this like area where it was these fields and these hills. Then he ran forward without me, so I had stayed behind a little bit. Then I had started running behind him, and as I went behind him, I was led to a group of demons. And I mean, it was so many of them. I couldn't fight them all, right? So I had just started flying the opposite way. And I didn't fly high in the air, I just flew low, but fast. And every time I looked back, they were just keeping up with me. So I ended up just flying into the woods. And it was this tree that I just flew up to and just hung on top of this branch, this tree branch. And they didn't know where I was, so they just went right by me. They just kept going. And then after they all left, I just dropped down. And I think I might have been worried about how I'm gonna land because I was so high up, but I just let go and I fell. And I think the landing was okay. I can't even remember the landing actually, but I know I was fine. And then I think I had jumped into this portal for the first time, and it was like this. It was like grass on the ground at first, and then it changes to cement. And then when it changes to cement, you jump into it and you transfer to a location, or you wake up. That was the first portal I jumped in, I believe. Um, yeah, it's been a lot of stuff I've done in dreams. Like I'm not telling you everything, but basically this is a way for you to fight demons in dreams. You can cast them out. You can say, I cast all evil out in Jesus' name, Yahweh's name, Yeshaya, whatever name for the Son of God you use, Yehoshua, Yeshua, Yahusha. You can also use it in real life. It works in real life. You can also learn to create weapons in dreams, or in reality, create force fields around your home or apartment or room. Keep demons out for 24 hours or 2 days or maybe a whole week. And you can learn to use the Most High's powers, if I didn't say already, in your dreams. Anything you've seen on TV or cartoon or a movie or reality show, you can mimic. If it was somebody that was running super fast like the Flash or the Flash, you can do that. Just have faith and don't doubt. Use the same formula as the prayer, and you can do it. Or if you want to fly, you can fly. What else? Shoot energy balls. You can do that. What else? Let me think. Teleport. You can teleport. Um, you can move things with your mind. You can move heavy objects. It can be trees, cars, tanks, houses, well, buildings. Kind of like Magneto when he moved something really, really big. I think it was a highway. I think he lifted up the whole highway and moved it to an area. You know, yeah, you can do stuff like that. Um, what else can you do? You can change the colors of things. You could, um, like I did, I made the M4's bullets of light. You can use them on people in dreams. You can also practice on how to control your dreams to learn to do these things. That will help you out when you are dreaming, so you can start to control your dreams and practice different powers. And you can start by just visualizing yourself and your mind, how you want yourself to look, and then you can just fight certain people. And in your dreams, you can mimic their powers. So these are some of the things that I was going to share. I just added in more along with the Sandman demon thing that was extra. But these are according to my experiences, and these are some scriptures. And what else? That's probably it. So I didn't get into much of the reality fighting demons, but there is more on that I could talk about. Now is it? And it's a lot of scriptures on dreams too. I didn't get. There is a lot. There's some good scriptures too, but this was mainly about how to fight demons in dreams and how to use the Most High's powers. And this is just one side of it. It is more to it, but I don't have all the information together for the entire thing, and it's gonna be, or it's gonna have to be a continuous thing, whether you hear it all from me or somebody else at times, because it's other people who have the information together to present. I don't have it all right now. So I think that is all I have. Oh wait, it's one more thing I've used in dreams. I remember I was having a nightmare, and this was early in my walk, the Most High, and I was in this place where it was this TV that was on, but it was nothing on it. It was just like the channel where it would just make that noise, that noise. It would be like gray, um, and I can tell it was an evil spirit present there because it was like a nightmarish dream. And then I remember to combat it, I would just yell out loud, Sirach 4:28, which says, strive for the truth until death, and the Lord will fight for you. And I would say that loud, just saying over and over and over. And then like the second time I said it, everything changed. I didn't feel scared anymore. And after a while, I was fine. I think I woke up, it was cool. Um, so I use scriptures also to fight them in dreams. I haven't done it much, but I have done it. So those things can help you fight demons in dreams. Prayer, casting them out in the Son of God's name, scriptures, quoting them back to back, and using the Most High's powers against him. That's probably everything I said in this dream. So just learn to fight demons in your dreams. You can use these techniques. If you have any other ways to fight demons in dreams that I didn't say tonight, you can say them in the comments, or however you would present the information, But I will try to leave the links to the things I said in the comments. I mean, the description of the video. I said the comment. But I'll put my website in the description. If it was anything else I said, I'll put in the description. I will try to. I'll watch this video again to make sure I do what I said I was going to do. Most High willing. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm getting sleepy. All right. Peace be to the saints. And that was some of the information I was going to present in the interview about a week ago. All right, y'all. It didn't come out in the order I was going to do it in, but I still got it out. Thanks to the Most High. So, all right. Peace be to the saints. I'm out of here.